Leo, this is your 2014 horoscope for anyone who have their ascendant, sun or moon in Leo. Check the ascendant sign. These are the tangible events that happen in your life. If you know your time of birth, these are the most personal, the most real events that you're going to see through the ascendant sign. And check also the moon sign, because this is what you feel like. Even if all great things are happening in your life outside tangibly, if your moon sign is more stressed, you might not feel so happy about those things. So and your emotional focus will be on the moon sign mostly. No matter what's happening around you tangibly, the emotions are focused on the moon sign, and the most of the mind and what the person is interested in. And the sun sign is also valid, but not to the same extent. So you can find all this at my birth chart calculator at astrolada.com, for which there is a link, and you see the birth chart, you see the details below the chart. Also you can see all your transits for 3 years ahead, from 2014 to 2017, which are all personally made for you, and you can listen to what this entails. If you do not want such a specific, if you do not want such a more general prediction, which I'm giving here, if you want to get the real deal reports, I have them there on the birth chart calculator, and they're like £1, you know, super and super valid to what's happening to you. Anyway, Leos, Saturn continues to be in your 4th house, and 4th house is the house of place of living and family and property. So if there are problems, wherever Saturn passes, this is where it causes some issues. And it's been in 2013, it's been active already, and it continues into 2014. Maybe for some of you, 2014, those issues will finish, but some of you, they will just start now, some of you Leos. And 4th house is family, and Saturn is the planet of responsibility. So you might feel more burdened with taking care of family, with parental figures. Maybe your parents are getting older, so you have to help more with them, or maybe your parents have more responsibility and more difficulties in their life. So this is where you have to somehow, your focus is taken there, or just in your own family that you've created, that you have more responsibilities and duties, which feel a bit like a heavy burden, but you have to carry them through. It's like a karmic duty you have right now. If you have to take care of a parent, don't abandon this. Saturn demands that you do not shirk your responsibilities, whatever it's passing. Take care of the property or the extra responsibility of home, or for a parent, you know, or if you have to pay some heavy loan for, you know, for property or for vehicles, 4th house rules vehicles, just pay it through. Because if you try and get some, you know, leeways, you know, like some shortcuts, you pay dearly whatever Saturn is transiting. Saturn does not allow shirking your responsibilities. Fulfill them, and know that you're paying off some karmic debt, and know that it's better for your growth and for your maturity, and move on. Let's see. Also, 4th house is the house of where you live, so people can be relocating with this position. I moved to England 13 years ago when Saturn transited my 4th house from the ascendant. Exactly on that day when the exact transit was, and some of you, it might be time where they say goodbye to the family home, because 4th house is, you know, your family home, even your family country. This is a time you can, Saturn is a planet of separations there, or saying goodbye even to a parent, hopefully not in the worst case scenario, you know. And some of you might be just moving from one place to another. This is to do with property, and also from the 4th house, Saturn triggers the 10th house, so the issues around career and work can be triggered and can be of importance to the person, having to work harder in that direction. Now, let's see. Especially Saturn's transit will be felt more for those of you who have their ascendant or their moon from 15 to 24 degrees in Leo. 15 to 24 degrees in Leo, ascendant or moon, you have a Saturn transit. And it's not only connected to family and home. For you, it can be a sense of lack of confidence, sense of kind of blockages, things moving a bit more slowly, having to work much harder, much more responsibilities. Or if you're born from 8th till the 17th of August, 8th till the 17th of August in 2014, Saturn triggers those degrees, and you feel the responsibilities, the delays of Saturn, the self-doubts of Saturn more. But also Saturn is the planet of hard work and discipline, so you can be much more self-disciplined, you'll be much more self-critical towards yourself and push yourself harder. Sometimes you can attract others from outside who do this for you, so you can feel a bit more sensitive and undervalued when someone is constantly on your case, you know. But if you don't attract it from outside, you'll be the one who is giving yourself more of a beating and pushing yourself harder and pushing yourself to work more. And those of you who have a purpose for working harder, who have a goal there, they would go very well, and who are loyal and dedicated to the task they're doing, for which they have to take care of or put much more effort and responsibilities, they'll do well. But if the person feels meaningless, if the person doesn't have a goal that they're doing it, if the person might feel very discontent, they can separate from a relationship, or that becomes too burdenous, or that they don't want to work harder, or from a career which is no longer sustainable, which doesn't give them any purpose for the future. Especially if your moon is, if you're born from around the 8th till the 17th of August, you can have this thing with the self-doubt with the career, and a reality check with the career, and some blockages there, or some more responsibilities and difficulties. And if it's the right job for you, you keep it because you do everything right by the book, you not take any shortcuts, and you persevere. But if it's not the right job for you, or the right project, it's very likely that you just feel meaningless and very discontent, and either attract like firing, or you yourself abandon or leave, or because of the dissatisfaction you sabotage yourself. But it's not always so. It's just Saturn tends to give more hard work, more self-criticism, more self-discipline. Life becomes more serious. If you're born from 15 to 24 degrees Leo, moon or ascendant, you'll feel it also. The moon, if your moon is around those degrees, there can be emotional disconnection from someone, because Saturn can break up certain relationships that you're emotionally attached to. You can let go to some emotional attachments as well, which is the moon. But the person tends to feel a bit, and that's true for a lot of Leos this year, not only with those degrees of the moon or the ascendant, because the 4th house is the house of emotional happiness and well-being, and when Saturn is there, the person might feel a bit more pain within. Even if everything is going well in their life, there is like a sense of emotional drainingness, because Saturn is this kind of desiccating, drying up energy. And when it's in the house of emotional happiness, the 4th house of emotional peace, the person feels more discontent there, and like the heart chakra is a little bit less active, or it's emotional. The person gets a bit more emotional, a bit more. There can be a feeling of sadness almost sometimes, and the outlook can feel a bit like that as well. But mostly those born from the 8th till the 7th of August will go through this. So those with ascendant moon from 15 to 24 degrees. And then let's talk about Leo, about Jupiter, which is the planet of joy, of growth, of opportunities. And till the middle of 2014, it's in your 12th house, which is an emotional, spiritual house. So you can be like enlightened growth through meditation, through spiritual awakening via travel towards distant lands, because 12th house rules distant lands. It's a good time actually to travel now, because it will be mind expanding. Wherever Jupiter transits, that house brings joy and clarity and divine meaning into your life. It's a good time for learning some relaxation methods like meditation, like letting go. 12th house is the house of endings, of concluding, and some of you will have easier time letting go of old connections than others, than other people, you know, than the other signs. So they'll be able, 12th house, to kind of get reconciled. If something has to end, they'll be more willing to let it go, and it increases your spirituality, it increases your also you can get very vivid dreams till the middle of July. And my moon is in Leo, and believe me, it's since this summer till the summer of 2014, it's my dreams, they can be almost prophetic. You can get messages from dead people, or answers to problems of your life in your dreams, into your sleeping into a sleeping state, or even through psychic ways, you can become more psychic, more, and the imagination grows a lot. It's abundance of imagination. Careers which are connected to imagination can tend to proliferate, whether it's fashion, film, and the person tends to escape. They can learn some very positive and healthy escapism ways, because Jupiter brings all those good ones, like instead of getting drunk, they can, well, Jupiter is in the 12th house, it will incline the person to learn to relax and to escape reality, which is the 12th house, through more sattvic, which is more light-giving ways of relaxation, like maybe a massage, like reading books, like like meditating, like going to a spa, and the person can pamper themselves a bit more, because the 12th house is the house of expenses. So usually Jupiter expands wherever it goes, so people, a lot of Leos can have a bit more expenses than other times, but the expenses that you do now till the summer of 2014 will be positive, will be somehow, will help you gain, will be, whatever you splurge on will tend to be for more positive, soul-asserting things, or maybe spiritual things as well. And also charity is fantastic to do right now, because you'll be putting in a lot of karmic points, because 12th house is the most karmic house, and you can, well, if you give to others while Jupiter is there, this can come back to you 2 or 3 times more, whether it's your time that you give, whether it's your attention, whether it's old clothes or food or whatever it is. When you become too charitable, too sensitive to the, more sensitive to the needs of others, this is what Jupiter naturally does, and more psychic makes you more psychic as well. But at the same time, it stores up good credit for you karmically, because of the good deeds you do right now, and good deeds of giving to others. And then Jupiter moves, but it's not so much a time of acquisition materially, of like making big money, big stuff, it's more like giving away, like spiritual, introverted, self-focused things on the soul. And when Jupiter moves into your 1st house, this is when things start really interesting. This is when things get moving. This is when tangible, material, practical things can start, new opportunities coming into your life, where you rise into the horizon. So 2014 is a big year for Leo, because Jupiter, the best planet of joy, of abundance, of success, goes into your 12th house. Goes into your sign Leo, goes into your 1st house, into the sign of Leo once in 12 years. So from 2014 till the summer of 2015, so about 12 months, from July 14 to July 2015, a lot of Leos might have the time of their life, might have new opportunities, might have new careers that expand, that grow, businesses that expand, meeting spouses, falling in love, all those good affirming things in life which put you on the right path and which feels right for you, which feels like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. And Jupiter tends to bring a lot of opportunities, because you raise your vibration. Then it's like, if you, before that, you've been trying to do something, say you're trying to get somewhere and there's snow outside, and you have to shovel the snow for 2-3 days before you get to your goal. When Jupiter comes into your sign in Leo from the summer of 2014 onwards, it's as if the sun comes out and thaws the snow in 2-3 hours, so you can just take the path straight of where you're supposed to go, and you can see the path clearly, and it's clear around you, so you know where you're supposed to go, and you have more clarity about your path, about your life. So good things will be coming more, you feel more inspired to do new things. It will be a great time. When Jupiter transited my sign, my sun sign, or ascended the moon, I started my own business and it started running very well. So it's a great time for new beginnings from the 2nd part of 2014. And for improving your confidence, from improving your mode, from improving your self-confidence, your happiness as well, and bringing more meaning, clarity into your life. And the nodes of the moon are the other ones that are very important, that show karmic events that will happen. The North Node, which is the mouth of the dragon, which is insatiable, wherever it passes through, it develops that house a lot, tangibly, materially. It's a little bit like Jupiter, but Jupiter is more inspired, that things like come easily, they open doors, while with Rahu, The north node of the dragon's head, as we call it, in the third house, it's more like the person becomes more obsessive, more desiresome there, wants to take more and more from there. So it's a bit more intense feeling, more, but it will still develop the house it's transiting in. And in the third house, you will have new social media communications. Those of you who are in any kind of social media, communication, information business, advertising, dealing with other people, like management, for them, great time, you know, like they can really develop that area of their life. And particularly Rahu is new technologies, and any kind of communications which include new technologies, which include maybe incorporating internet or websites into your business, you can develop those. And third house with Rahu, it always infuses new exciting energy. Then third house is doing new interests, developing new interests and new hobbies, and learning new skills and techniques. So whether you'll be bungee jumping, or whether you'll be learning to speak Urdu, or whether you'll be, you know, I don't know, learning how to be a makeup artist, any kind of technical things that you can develop. And actually you can really give a boost to these learning techniques by getting involved somehow in communications, especially in social media communication. And you can increase your network of people, of contacts. Third house rules teammates and contacts, and especially with people from foreign cultures, or through the internet as well. So for people who are in business, this can be a great opportunity to expand their sphere of influence to others, to reach out more people, to exchange more information with others, for their media, for their advertising on the website, for their publicity. This is what the third house will help them. And for developing new interests. So a lot of you might all of a sudden develop interest in some exotic, because Rahu rules exotic, unusual things, in some exotic hobby or some exotic interest. So maybe, you know, it cannot come from the top of my head, but something in those lines. And wherever Ketu is, which is the dragon's tail, which excretes, which lets go of things, this is where we let go of things. This is where kind of we detach emotionally, and we have some losses in that house. And when Ketu is in the ninth house of our beliefs, of our belief system, yeah, often we might abandon an old and functioning belief system and let go of it, and get disappointed with it, maybe get disappointed with a spiritual teacher, or with any kind of teachers and guru people in our lives that were like examples that we would follow, which would be like a someone morally to follow, someone who would be inspiration to us. You know, we can get disappointed from those, or we can feel like it's not enough. I need to find a new path of beliefs. I need to find something. There can be a lot of confusion, because imagine a headless body, it's just a tail. So it's like a bit ambivalent, unsure. A person can lose focus and meaning a little bit when Ketu transits the ninth house, because ninth house rules your purpose, your meaning, what you believe in, and it's what gives meaning in your life, what gives purpose, or some goals that you have that you're following. And Ketu can make you very ambivalent about such goals, about some of those goals, about some of those things that you believe that made your life and the difficult things you did have, you know, purpose, have meaning. But by abandoning some old belief system, you can welcome in some new ones, more spiritualized, to a newer level. And also, you're letting go of certain spiritual beliefs, or, you know, moral principles and beliefs. And you're focusing much more on the third house activities, which is basically conquering the physical world. Third house is interest connected to the world around us, news, magazine, newspapers. It's not like those high-minded things of the ninth house, which is Ketu. It's not like ideals, philosophies, political things, you know, like saving the world type of, or some big purposes and meaning. It's much more, right now you're focusing to develop, to experiment, to play with things, rather than, you know, just gather. You're just gathering information, you're trying different things. This is what Rahu will develop in the third house. Trying new hobbies, trying different new things, meeting new people, getting busy with new activities that you haven't done before, and not so much staying in your head with abstract thoughts and some spiritual beliefs, which is Ketu in the ninth house. And so this is what it is for you, Leos. I hope I was able to help you. And yeah, please write later on into the year what is happening.